Get ready to quit the build. The QTB Crew is rounding up all the gaming news and hot topics of the week with a little extra something. And here are your hosts, Bruno, Brad, and Nick.
All right, what it do? You're listening to the QTB podcast. I'm your host, Bruno, and with me are the boys of QTB, our co-hosts, Nick and Brad.
Bruno, I gotta tell you, it's been a hot one out there this week, regardless of where you're from. But one thing I think we can all agree on is this podcast is going to be just as hot because, Brad, the big news, of course, this week is that this is, we just recently...
That I'm here?
That you're here, first of all. Thanks for joining us. Special guest, Brad, everybody. But also...
No, but Nick, what's the news?
Big news. First of all, big YouTube news to share because we have officially hit a YouTube partner. We are an official YouTube partner with Quit the Build. Big news there. And we just broke 20K subscribers on YouTube as well, Brad. So things are happening. Moves are being made.
I mean, it is the summer of QTB. If you're not a part of our community, now's the time to join. We'd love to hear from you. We would love to see you in the live chat here doing our weekly podcasts. We've got merch. I mean, it's the time to be a part of the QTB family.
It's the time of the season. The birds, or what was it? The birds or the zombies that did that? Who did time of the season?
There's too many the bands. It's the group of things. The monkeys.
The season. I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When love runs high, or is it dry? I don't know. High
Somebody
and dry.
Google it.
You better not be
know.
high and dry out there. Who knows? I know. I sure don't. That's.
but in all joking aside, big shout out to all our subscribers, all of our fans, all of our listeners. Yeah. These are milestones that we wouldn't be able to achieve without all of you, and we are so very grateful and appreciative, and we hope that we can continue to bring you the fun-loving and exciting podcast week to week, along with all of the bonus content that our Patreons get on Patreon. So there's something here for everyone.
There sure is.
That's right, our Patreon, Nick. I'm telling you, I know that there's a poster coming up soon. And if you're like me, you probably are thinking, Bruno, obviously I want a Randy Travis poster, but it's probably not going to be a Randy Travis poster.
No.
I'm sorry.
It won't be. We tried to get the rights to Randy Travis. It didn't work out.
I don't have them.
We couldn't acquire Randy Travis. The person.
No, no. So, it'll be something else.
Hey, if Epic can't, we can't, okay?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you're not kidding there. Oh, man. Well, of course, before we get into our big stories today, as always, we kind of like to go a little roundtable thing of kind of what you playing this week, see what we've been playing. And I got to tell you guys, I'm still falling for Fall Guys. I have been working on the Battle Pass. There it is. I knew he was going to play something. This song gets me hyped, man.
Oh,
I got to get this Battle Pass done, man. It's like, I'm like at level 80, 85 or something, so I'm getting close to the end of it. I want that Mega Godzilla skin at the end, the costume. I went ahead and redeemed some Microsoft rewards points there to get the Pusheen costume, because I'm all about Pusheen. That's a super cute cat who likes to eat. I like to eat. I can relate. Yeah.
Everyone, I mean, who couldn't, right? Like,
meow.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's what he sounds like, but maybe that'll be the Netflix adaptation of the Pusheen cat. Hello.
Yeah. I sure hope not. But yeah, also, I have been, I was looking on the big summer sale that they have, and I noticed that they had Final Fantasy VII, the original it was like a couple bucks. I'm like, you know what? I've waited long enough to replay this game. One of the most important games of my childhood and one of the most important RPGs I think ever made. So went ahead and sprung for that. I have been playing through that again. It's just as great as I remember. It's I really want that remake for Xbox, and I'm sure we'll get it eventually. In the meantime, that's going to have to suffice. But you just can't go wrong with a little bit of retro fun, right, Brad?
Oh, I hear. Well, and I agree with you. I mean, Fall Guys is really hitting the Fortnite level of success and crossovers, in my opinion. I know we were talking pre-show and even earlier today. There's some other big crossovers coming very soon for Fall Guys, including with Fortnite, which I've been diving back into this week. I've been vibing the season. I've been grinding on the challenges, getting my Indiana Jones on, getting my Darth Vader on.
Yeah.
So picking up a couple wins here and there, a few solo, a few with Bruno, and thanking the bus driver here and there when I can.
Gotta thank the bus driver, man. It's just one press of the D-pad.
Yep.
Who doesn't do it?
I mean,
people who don't throw away their trash in a movie theater. People who kick puppies. That's who. That's who.
The definitive list of people who don't thank the bus driver. There you go.
I love how it's the same level of not throw your trash away in the movie theater. And kicking puppies is the same level for me.
It's the people who only take a penny from the take a penny, leave a penny. At the stores.
It's a one-way transaction.
You know what I mean?
I'm feeling it.
Remember
I am.
the penny thing that they used to have at Taco Bell, or the quarter thing where you drop it in there and try and get it to the bottom, and then you could win a free taco.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh, the water thing. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't water. It was just that acrylic. This acrylic
Some of them are
thing.
underwater. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, maybe, I don't know, but there were hacks online. This was early YouTube days. It went around here's how you do it before TikTok was around. And they were oh, you could get a free taco every time. And then people were I'm going to go get a free taco. And then they did. And Taco Bell was we can't be giving away all these free tacos, Bob. Okay.
Pull it.
We pull it. It's done. But then they were still left. They were still left in the Taco Bells, a remnants of yesteryear, of nostalgia, of what once could have been.
Sure.
See, Nick, we hit a record. Bruno's already talking about food this early into the show.
No, forget about what you're playing this week. It's what does Bruno wish he's eating?
You're right. I don't know.
But you're right.
I don't know. What
You're right though, Nick. I'm grinding on the Fortnite Battle Pass. I think I went from 72 to 90 this week. So made some big strides there, and been grinding on the challenges. So that's where I've been at, dipping in the Fall Guys, but focused on some Fortnite Battle Pass work this week. How about you, Bruno?
I am right there with Nick. I am ready for the Fall Guys. Okay, that's what I want. We're running.
Didn't you pick up that Nay skin in the shop?
Nice.
The one where the horse, yes.
The horse with the chain.
I mean, he looked ridiculous, and he had a diamond, a diamond star on his head. I mean, why wouldn't you want that? I love the skins, and I love what Fall Guys is doing right now with their battle pass. Maybe call it the free to play aspect, or maybe they're taking a page out of Fortnite's book. Being on the Epic store. They're Epic right now, aren't they? Are they? Their Mediatonic is the
they were purchased by
developer.
Epic.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But I think that just goes to show that Epic has a very good understanding of monetization and how to do a battle pass. And I think that there are two great models from which to choose regarding how you could have your battle pass and how you could really give people something unique. And I think we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit, with some of the new games that are out there and how they are approaching the battle pass arena. Love it or hate it, folks. The battle pass is here to stay. Okay, loot boxes are gone, except
not
for
totally,
Overwatch.
but they're on the way out. Yeah,
unless you're Overwatch.
And Bruno, your point about the Battle Pass or Fall Guys is truly unique. I think they've one-upped Fortnite in one way because they have the daily section that's unique to each player. Yeah. So we've been on at the same time and been talking about our the item shop, and in that daily section, I've got something completely unique and different than you have, which in my opinion creates a whole nother case of FOMO. That if I can get this one that no one else has, that Bruno doesn't have access to, I should pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. So. And I don't know how often they rotate those. Maybe it's every couple days. It's really hard to say. But I like the double currency. I really wish you could buy Kudo packs, or if you bought the premium currency in Fall Guys, that you could get the Kudo stuff too, because I want that. I want the kudos in there, but you also gotta buy the fancy stuff for the premium skins and whatnot. And
Sure.
me, I'm a sucker for the colors. I'm like, gotta snatch up the colors because that's what really, I think, really changes it up. And the fact that those are all in-game currency that you can purchase those, that's a win for me. So, I mean, I'm definitely one of those people that throws money at a game. I'm that guy, but like, that's what I've always wanted, right? Like if we could have, pinched our pennies back in the day, we would have shelled out for a different colored Mario in Super Mario 64, right? That would have happened. Or even to get the
I would have had
elusive Luigi.
Every flavor of Yoshi. I would have had every flavor of Yoshi from Yoshi's Story.
Exactly.
There you go. Get them all. And hey, why settle for the digital versions of those amazing things when you can get the real thing in the form of a plushie? Thanks to today's sponsor, of course, the official sponsor of the QTB network. We're talking about Winner Winner, okay? Now, I'm going to take it back to that classic meme, okay? Ever seen that meme of the guy that walks in on his son playing? He's like, are you winning, son? Because when you are playing at Winner Winner, you're always a winner. It's literally the name of the app twice over. And look, they are way more than just the best online claw machines in the world because their game room offers tons of classic mobile game experiences like 2048 for you puzzle junkies, Stack the Blocks to test your reflexes, and even action games like Saw Rush. You earn tickets every time you play, guys, and then you can exchange them in the winner's circle for prizes like a Nintendo Switch, a Samsung 50-inch 4K smart TV, and a whole lot more. And of course, those plushies. Get the Mario stuff. Get the We Don't Care. They got all sorts of stuff on there. What the heck are you doing? All you have to do is go to our download link, which is currently in the live chat or in the show notes as well. And of course, our token plush there that Bruno's showing up if you're watching the podcast is their a fearless mascot. You can win them right there on the app as well. Make any purchase and shipping is free for life, and token packages are as low as $3.99, guys. Just download the app, hit play for free. Your first win is free. You get to play until you win for your first prize. And don't forget to go to the website pay.app.winnerwinner.com and use promo code DALE to get a sweet deal with 30% bonus tokens on your next purchase. That's promo code DALE, DALE, at pay.app.winnerwinner.com. How you like them apples, Bruno?
I love them apples. Applesauce, bitch!
What he said.
Gotta give Dale credit, man. He brings a sweet deal.
He does.
That's right.
Dale's already there. He's got an inside everywhere, just in case.
At your local Target store.
He knows what's up. He might
the Kirby Ball saga has been getting spicy.
But
well, in the Kirby Ball universe, he's now the CEO of Target, so I mean, it is what it is. So yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what else. We talk about alternate universes and men's mashups and that kind of thing. Boy, today's big story, and it's coming from Esquire.com. I didn't know Esquire did things with games, but I guess they're branching out a little bit. But they did a story about, it's actually a review of MultiVersus, okay, which is Warner Brothers' new fighting game. They're saying it's a worthy competitor to Super Smash Brothers. So for those of you that don't know, this is a game
That's a big statement.
Yeah. This is a game that was kind of, it is WB's answer to Super Smash Brothers and, of course, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl that came out recently. I think a lot of big-name publishers and just large media companies are realizing the strength of having these types of crossovers with all of the IPs they own. And so that's exactly what they're doing here with this honestly very cool game that was in closed beta there for a little while, but now is in open beta, so you have the option of just downloading it for free. I think it's available right now, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, that you can hop in, play. It's got a limited selection of characters you can play. And we'll get into my gameplay impressions later. But, right now I just want to talk about the game itself because, I look at that opening trailer, right? And this is what we got a couple weeks ago, where they were showing, Shaggy, right, and Batman like teaming up and becoming friends, in the moment. And all sorts of other unlikely combos and Cartoon Network IPs and you name it, kind of getting thrown around. Or even Arya Stark from Game of Thrones shows up. It's,
that's the
anything
interesting
goes.
thing, Nick. I mean, I think that as for us, right? Like, obviously the first set of characters is a base set, but of looking what they're going to be doing in the future, I think that this could be a true rival to Smash, and in the best way. I mean, there are so many IPs that are technically a part of the Warner Brothers franchise. I mean, aside from Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and like the things that go along with them, like Hanna-Barbera, and DC Comics, we've got New Line Cinema, which owns the likes of Friday the 13th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films, Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, The Mask, Mortal Kombat, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, there are so many Harold and Kumar. Like, there are a lot that we
better get a White Castle level. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Shaggy's already in the game and he throws a sandwich. So maybe we could have little White Castle belly bombs being thrown out there. That's the thing, right? You said it first, right? Where you've got all these IPs and franchises that somebody owns. Take advantage of them. Don't sit there and think that it's too silly to have this person or this character in the game. No, go for it, right? Like, bring in Chris Tucker from Rush Hour. Let's see Jackie Chan in there.
LeBron James.
Like, there are so many different things. So I'm excited for what this could be. I did have a chance to jump on and play a little bit. Kind of hit through there with some of the beat 'em ups. It's very, very reminiscent of something like Smash, but I think the mechanics in the game have kind of made it a little more approachable for newer players, which is something that I feel like if you haven't been in the Smash arena in the past 10 years, you're getting your butt whipped, bro. Like,
yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, it's tough because, and there just hasn't been a lot of games that have really stepped up to the plate and tried to do what Smash is doing. And I've always said for the longest time, like, why is that? We finally got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and I'll say this: I enjoy the game. I did purchase it when it was on a pretty deep discount. But the gameplay isn't very tight, and it just isn't for me. I would much rather play Super Smash given the option. But the thing that I really, really love about MultiVersus is that they were doing what I think PlayStation All-Stars, whatever it was. They had like their own like IP brawler. This was like almost like 8 or 9 years ago. That there's team play components to it, which is that in this game, every character has a class, an archetype. Where like Superman is a tank, and some of the characters are more support style or brawler or mages. Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry are classified as mages because they just throw so many projectiles. All the Acme products getting launched. That it really creates some cool ideas because there's team gameplay and even like team mechanics where like Wonder Woman has a lasso that if your teammate is about to get knocked off the edge, you can lasso your ally and bring them back in and prevent the KO. Which, I mean, Brad, that really opens up a lot of avenues for team play that you just don't get in a brawler that's just like, yeah, it's 2v2 and, good luck.
Yeah, it really opens the door for a lot of creativity and metas being established, right? Like, what's the first meta going to be? What's the first duo meta that we're going to see? And especially as I think the game also offers independent progression trees for every character. So as they grow and the skill set grows, does that change how you play with them, who you pair with them? It offers a lot of variety. I think that a game that doesn't offer that can get fatigued a bit pretty quick because it's just, okay, they're kind of 2v2, but they're all independently fighting one another. There's no, like you said, a synergistic teamwork that could have like a really like ultimate cool moment per round or a comeback that's dictated by someone's save or someone's ability to use their combined abilities to make a huge play.
Right.
So I think there's a lot to be seen, and maybe the gameplay gets a little bit tighter as people learn how to leverage the characters. I mean, we got to remember this just came out. We're talking about this fresh. This is day one, right? So I think we've got a lot of potential here on what this could bring from a like Bruno said, a more approachable Smash style game with a great lineup of characters and variety of characters that Warner Brothers can really bring to the table.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities, and it sounds like they're definitely in it for the long haul. My only critique, if I can offer one there, Bruno, and I'll see what you think about it, is they're taking it in a very different direction than any other game on the market right now that is comparable. In that it's a free to play model, right? So you can get in there. They have like a small rotating list of free characters. I think Wonder Woman is the only character you always have access to. So what'll happen is there's like League of Legends or comparable games, there's a certain character that you want to be able to play, you're either going to have to grind a lot of the dailies, get that free currency saved up, right, and then use that to unlock,
Coins, yeah.
or just buy it outright with the I think Gleamium is their in-game like premium currency.
Gleamium for the premium.
Exactly, they knew what they were doing.
Oh,
so especially I look at a game like Pokemon Unite that has a similar model, and they are just pumping out new characters so fast that if you want to keep up, there's no way you can play the game enough to naturally get the currency. So you do have to invest pretty heavily into the game. Do you think that with that freemium model, but also having a battle pass beside it, do you think that there's any viability for it long term?
It's interesting because you're right. It's something that we haven't really seen before in a battle pass implementation, right? We're seeing something that basically says, okay, we're going to rotate through these characters instead of skins rotating in a shop. We're going to rotate characters through there, which does create a bit of a FOMO. I would say it's a pretty steep price tag too for the $100 premium, the Founders Edition. Like that's a pretty steep price tag for that. But then again, if you're going all in, and that's what I feel like they're doing here, then you should see some premium prices, right? Like, seeing something like any game that comes out, right? It doesn't matter if it's for Nintendo Switch, PS5 or Xbox, whatever. If it has that like $40 price tag to it or $50 price tag, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Like, and I'm not saying that, that's a bad thing, right? Maybe the developers really knew what they had and what they were selling. But for me, that $40 or $50 price tag seems more of a like, here you go. We hope to sell some more of the DLC or, cosmetic stuff within the past, but we don't really have any, plans to support this game long run. Whereas when you come out with something like this, it's already free to play. You've got a huge list of characters that you can, go ahead and grind towards, and you can buy those premium passes to unlock the tokens, because you do get those. You get like character unlock tokens when you buy the Founders Edition of the game, which right now, if you get the Founders Edition of the game, you get more tokens than there are characters. So obviously they have the plan of releasing more characters. I want to see a Flash skin. Like, I want to see so many different DC characters and stuff like that. So to me, as long as they keep it going, I don't see a problem with something like the Battle Pass, the freemium play there. I mean, you want people to play your game. You need people to play your game. And before I send it off to Brad, there's a right way to do it, right? Where you give people something worth unlocking. And then there's a wrong way to do it, where so many games have come out. I hate to keep bashing on Halo Infinite because Halo's so near and dear to us, but they're one of the people who's missing the mark on that freemium style thing of like making you grind for something as simple as a keychain. That's different than grinding for an unlockable character that I then get from that point forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brad, what were you going to say?
I have one, I won't call it a concern, I'll call it a watch point, a yellow flag per se. The one yellow flag I would raise about this model is that the one thing that Epic has always done, and what they've done well with Fortnite, is everything that's in the shop that you can buy is cosmetic driven. So there's no competitive advantage to what you're getting in the shop. In this game, if characters are for sale, they need to, Warner Brothers or the publishers of this game need to make sure that there's no competitive advantage to folks who can afford other characters that maybe some can't. Because I could see, they've got, they bought, Batman. He's got this skill, which, is OP, right? And then all of a sudden now everyone's going to want to pay for Batman. And the people who can't afford to do so are going to feel left out and feel like the game isn't playable because now all of a sudden performance and gameplay is skewed to those who can buy certain characters. So I think that to see how that goes is going to be very crucial in understanding the long-term viable success of this model.
Well, to give you any, solace over that, maybe the recent change of Taz and the fact that he's immediately getting nerfed, might give you some hope that should a character come out in the future that is extremely OP, I would hope that, with the system that they have in place in terms of like having classes of characters, like Nick said, that there should be a counter for every character. So if Batman is a tank and he's OP and his, counter is a mage like Bugs Bunny, then you should be able to just kind of use one of those types of characters. I do agree, though, you don't want to have a character that comes out that is obviously OP and then people missed out on it. I feel like Destiny did that. There were certain guns that came out that if you didn't do the raid, you didn't get the gun, and therefore you weren't competitive in multiplayer. That was a problem. And Destiny said, don't get me started, you fan at home who likes Destiny still and is still playing it. They said that the guns were like, the guns are the same, we've evened them out. That's a lie. That is a lie, because there was a whole group of people using the same gun, wrecking people who didn't have it. So obviously that wasn't true. And you're right, that's a huge concern. But hopefully with Taz, Nick, you told me he was just a little too OP.
I had heard he was a fun character, and I was thinking about, because I had some Microsoft rewards points to redeem, I could buy one character for free, and so I'm like, who am I gonna get? And I feel like I heard Taz is crazy, and I love Taz. Like, classic Warner Brothers cartoons growing up. It was going to be that or like Bugs Bunny, but I heard Bugs is not that great. So I'm like, I'm going to get Taz. And yeah, the match I played, I can tell you for sure that I dumpstered LeBron James and Superman single-handedly. It was an absolute bloodbath. So yeah, and you're right. It is important that those changes happen quickly. And you make a good point about the gaming industry in general, Bruno, when you release new characters like this, which is a very clever tactic that is well known now for any model that releases new characters, right? A hero-based game. What they'll do is they'll say, hey, we're releasing this new character, and then everyone's like, oh, they're so OP, right? And that releases hype. Oh, I have to buy the character. It's OP. I'm getting beaten in all these games with this new character, so I have to buy it. And then after a few weeks of it being in rotation, they say, oh, we have to make some adjustments. It gets nerfed. And that cycle continues over and over again, which if it's an honest mistake once or twice, that's one thing. But if you're doing it continuously, it's obviously a ploy to rake in dollars.
Overwatch.
Correct. In a way that shouldn't be. But at least Overwatch, Brad, those characters were free. You never had to buy them. But
that's true. But
it would bring people back to play.
Man,
yeah.
Early release OG Orisa was a beast, and then she got nerfed. Orisa was my girl, and then something happened where they said, nah, your shield's getting cut, time's getting cut in half, your accuracy's going down by 30%, and she just became this like mobile walking robot that couldn't do anything. So
there you go. Okay, so very important because also when you join us in the live chat, we have live polls that go out every now and then, so we get to incorporate that, and we have a debate going in the chat right now. So the question I put in there was Shaggy versus Batman, who wins? Okay, right now, there's still time to vote, but right now we have Shaggy beating Batman. 60% of our voters say Shaggy, 40% say Batman. And I have to tell you, this is one of the things I love about the absurdity of this game. because Batman is supposed to be like the guy, right? And then Superman is freaking Superman. Like there have been like Death Battle. I don't know if you've seen Death Battle on YouTube, where like the gods go up against Superman and lose, but Shaggy, who is upset over a sandwich being taken from him, goes into like Super Saiyan, like Ultra Instinct mode, right? He gets the aura and like the floaty hair. And he just goes to town. But that is our poll right now, and actually it's tied as of right now. We're gonna let it go for a few more minutes. But I mean, that's the cool thing about this is that, and I think that's the magic that Super Smash Brothers really captured once they started to move into let's pull from other IPs that aren't Nintendo, right? Yeah. And they were able to get those licenses.
Remember that commercial? That commercial was so iconic. You got on there and you're imagine me and you, and you see Pikachu on there, and then he starts beating the crap out of Yoshi, and you're like, wait a minute, there's Donkey Kong too? Where did he come from? Like, it was so epic as a kid to see that, because it was the first time we had seen something like that in a game, I would say, aside from something like, maybe Soul Calibur that eventually came out with that, right? But these IPs that we'd grown up with, that we had seen already in the different Nintendo games coming together and knowing, right? Like knowing the different things, like Link's little chain thing that yanks you back. I forgot, what is the grapple hook, right?
The hook shot.
The hook shot. There you go. And seeing something like that and be like, I used that in Ocarina of Time, right on, so that's what I hope that they continue to bring, is that the whimsy. I think that as a video game developer, that's one of the things that I want to see more of in the future, that I feel like Fortnite is really taken advantage of. And if you listen to our podcast, I'm a fan of Fortnite. And if you're one of the haters out there who doesn't like it, I'd say give it a try again. Depending on when the last time you tried it, I would say it's different now. Obviously, because they change it so often.
The no build option now has really helped diversify the platform. It really helps diversify the gamer base. You can find a mode that isn't going to be a sweat fest, and you can really play your style, right? I think we've seen over the multiple seasons and chapters that there's multiple ways to play this game. There's multiple strategies, and the no build versus build modes gives people to kind of flesh out their style of play. I'm with you,
and
Bruno.
I mean, when you see games like that have stood the test of time, year in, year out, are still bringing huge names to their platform. That's what I hope to see with MultiVersus, right? Like I want to see more DC characters in there. We got to see a Joker. I got to see a Flash character. Like, there are so many. I want to see, New Line Cinema, right? New Line Cinema's in there. We could see tons of IPs from there and really just embrace the absurdity that is certain video games, right? Like it doesn't, the idea that like, we have to make Superman ultra realistic, because he's a person, and Shaggy very cartoon-like because he's a cartoon, right? We're missing the point, right? The point is Shaggy's fighting Superman over a sandwich
and winning. And that's the great thing. And they just announced new characters, one of which is already in the game, LeBron freaking James. It's like Shaq Fu all over again, and it's like him in the Toon Squad. So he's got the jersey and everything. He's got like the crazy cartoon basketball moves. And they just announced Rick Sanchez, of course, from Rick and Morty, will also be making an appearance. So they are pulling out all the stops very early. I think, like you had pointed out, Bruno, there's so many IPs that WB can pull from that this is there's a lot of potential if they can get it right. And I think so far the gameplay is solid, and we have a lot of promise left to show. I will tell you, folks, with the official poll is closed, and it is a tie. Shaggy and Batman, it would be a draw. They would just be friends, which is what we saw in the trailer. Pals for life.
They did, even on the main screen, Shaggy's rocking the batarang, and Batman has the sandwich in his hand. You're right.
Batman would just be okay with Shaggy not bringing in the Scoobs to unmask him and reveal that he is his true nature.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So,
He's just desperately scared. Desperately
Don't pull
afraid.
off my
Wait a second, it's just Mr. Jones, the hotel owner. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you pesky kids.
Alfred.
Oh, exactly. It's always Alfred. Oh, man. So much fun. Yeah, a lot of fun to be had. So I guess to our listeners and viewers, it is the open beta is available now, free to play. So you can hop right in for free and decide for yourself if it's the game for you. And another thing you can decide if it's the thing for you is, of course, our amazing bonus content that you can only get through Patreon. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, as always, to our Patreon QTB and Fuego supporters. I'm talking about Epic Capture Productions, Matt.Bat, and Alexa, and our QTB Plus supporters, Nick, the Dudist Monk, Indie Gamiacs, Alan Abadessa, Mr. Grove Games, the Intergalactic Pinecone, and Fluffy Bunny. If you would like bonus content, including 24-hour early access to the audio podcast before it hits YouTube, Spotify, and all the rest, plus access to our pre- and post-show as bonus content, and you get the QTB Nostalgia Vault, a monthly bonus podcast. This month we just talked about Mario Kart over the years. Brad and I, great conversation, great debate over the greatest games, the greatest characters and tracks. It was a good conversation, Brad, I gotta tell you. It was a good one.
I'm Luigi, number one. That's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna get you with Toad, man. Because all I know is first place. Well, let me take that back. All I know is second place until someone else gets blue shelled, and then I strategically take first place, because that's how you really win at Mario Kart. But yes, of course.
But you're right, Nick.
Yeah.
It was a great Nostalgia Vault episode. We covered so much about that iconic franchise and the games and the characters that define the generations of that game for us. So another great reason to join our Patreon.
There you go. And of course, with the $5 tiers and up, you get exclusive merch like stickers, even a mug. We have a poster on the way for our QTB and Fuego supporters. So make sure to check it out. Again, it's at patreon.com/quitthebuild. That's patreon.com/quitthebuild. The link will be in the show notes. Thank you, as always, for your support. Well, guys, our next story, this is one that has been kind of brewing for a while, because all eyes have been on the gaming industry's response to NFTs, of course, non-fungible tokens, and the way that they have been implemented or not implemented in various video games. This article coming from CNBC.com. Again, all sorts of art. It's usually like IGN across the board. We've had Esquire and CNBC. Look at us doing newsy stuff, Bruno. You like that?
I mean, I really never know what to expect. And the fact that more of these companies are jumping on the video game bandwagon just reassures me that we're doing the right thing here. That's what we're doing. We're giving you the news. It's new. It's exciting. Just give us an awesome fanfare and let us do work. Okay?
That's it.
This is serious
News
things.
coming to you with Dan Rather.
I just need a good background
Breaking
jingle, man.
news.
I mean, could you imagine? Just listen to the jingle. On tonight's news, is Shaggy better than Batman? We'll find out tonight at
We'll go to the
11.
polls. Oh, man.
All we're missing now is a cameo from Ron Burgundy, the really tight
There you
news.
go. There you go. Well, the news is an interesting a little tidbit here, again, from CNBC, because Minecraft, of course, creator Mojang, is that how you pronounce it? I should know that by now.
Yeah, I think so.
Has gone on the record officially saying that they are rejecting NFTs, saying that they create a scenario of haves and have-nots. So what they said publicly is that NFTs do not align with the Minecraft values of creative inclusion and playing together, and therefore will never be permitted in the game. And this decision comes after Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates publicly blasted NFTs, is what he said, 100% based on the greater fool theory. Now, and Microsoft already had this kind of this stance to begin with, and not just Bill Gates, where we've seen for a while now the public backlash against NFTs, and the few companies that actually either said they were planning to implement or actually did implement. I'm looking at you, Ubisoft, to a wildly unsuccessful NFT launch. To the fact that, this is a big deal, because this is a lot of people were saying, well, if Minecraft does embrace it, right, if it gets that mass adoption, of course, NFTs being the concept of being able to own digital items that are unique to you and can be traced to you, and if you put that in video game form, meaning you can have objects and items that no one else can have and that you can, in theory, then sell to somebody else. It has real market value. So I'll throw it over to you, Brad, because I think this is a conversation we've talked about many times on the podcast about NFTs and the right and wrong way to implement it and how most of the industry is rightfully being met with backlash. Does this surprise you at all that Minecraft took this stance?
No, because I think what we're seeing with gaming compared to the other ways NFTs are being leveraged for digital content that's uniquely owned is I feel like it could really kind of tarnish the integrity of the game itself, right? Because it almost like it's kind of what we talked about Halo Infinite. People were playing games to do other things, but yet not play to win or play the mode, right? So I could see now people playing or buying NFTs that's going to tarnish the experience of around Minecraft versus actually wanting to play Minecraft, right? Like it really creates an atmosphere that's not about the game anymore. It's about obtaining an item in the game that's more valuable than the game itself, or you can leverage against people or sell, and it just creates its own unique situation. And for me, I look at these things as the landscape, the playing field is not defined. It's unregulated. We don't know how this is going to look 3-5 years from now. There's a lot of potential, but there's a lot of unknown. And so depending on how these companies for these games treat this, I think, they're hedging their bets and playing it safe to avoid any backlash and really long-term repercussions for the game.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all. I wonder because now stories are coming out that a lot of the big NFT marketplaces are saying, or game designers that work around NFTs are saying, well, hey, we're just going to make our own Minecraft. Like it's, I mean, look, that voxel style game, don't get me wrong, it's probably one of the easier things to make from a visual standpoint, but it's kind of, we're going to take our ball and go home.
Who's going to want an NFT? Who's going to want an NFT of a game that's simulating or is made in the light of Minecraft, right? People are going to want Minecraft NFTs, not a replica game that is simulating Minecraft, right? I mean, you're not going to want that other stuff, right? I don't know. That's just me. What do you think, Bruno?
I think that we're on the precipice. I think NFTs are, and I've had this stance before. I'm going to provide, maybe you call it the devil's advocate or the, glass half full viewpoint on this. But I think that NFTs, if used properly, could be a huge win for the consumer. And I think of it in terms of like NFTs are on the precipice of giving rights back to the people when it comes to digital content. And that is one reason why I think a lot of these companies are first scared, and then on the other hand are trying to cash in on it. None of them are doing it the right way, mind you, because they're doing it in a way that creates, like Minecraft said, or Mojang said, exclusivity. And that's not what you want. The idea of being able to go on and buy a Fortnite skin, that comes out once a year is essentially a watered down version of an NFT. It has value to certain people, and there are only so many of those that have been released in terms of like days. There's a way to kind of combine the cosmetic items that you purchase from a game into an NFT style token, right? That has value for you and allows you to then trade this with other players on a set value based on the currency of that said skin, how many people have bought it, how often it has been within the ecosystem of the shop. There are ways around that, right? Like, I can't be the only person to have thought about that. And if not, of course, you can always give us a call. Let us know how we can consult for you and quit the bill. We can solve all your NFT problems for you. But on the real, though, I honestly think there is.
But Bruno, but your point there is valid, but it's within the ecosystem of one game. How do you expand that to regulate it across games or across multiple
That's
industries?
the problem with NFTs in the first place. None of them are spanned across any type of genre, right? Like, there's
no regulation, there's no foundation.
It's all individual. Like a Taco Bell NFT is going to have value at Taco Bell, not at a Wendy's. You know what I mean? Like a Wendy's NFT will have value at Wendy's. Like, it's like getting a gift card at McDonald's and then being like, well, this doesn't work at Wendy's. Well, no crap. Like,
I use my Dave & Buster's power card everywhere. Okay? It gets declined, but I use it. I got the power.
My power gets declined, but
I'm pretty sure my library card is it gets me the deals everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Try it one more time. Run it again.
Run it again. Are you sure?
I supercharged it.
Try the chip.
It's not even
try
reading.
The swiper then. Try the chip. Is your chip reader working? I don't have a problem at Dave & Buster's. I don't have this problem there.
This is why I don't come here anymore.
That's why I don't come here. But listen, obviously NFTs are going to have a value in whatever ecosystem they're in. That's kind of the point. The point is that this is something special that exists only within this game. And we already have it. Like I said, it already exists, just not in the way that you're used to. Right? Like when you roll the dice in CSGO to get that sweet, butterfly knife, right?
Okay.
Like that's the same thing.
So give me your ideal NFT that you would own in, say, like an F1 or a Fortnite. Like what would be
I just told you. It has to be based around the cosmetics that you already own and can purchase. That's the first thing.
But you just griped about last week or a couple weeks ago that F1 was doing a poor job with having cosmetics for their drivers that you don't even see. So why would you want an NFT of a cosmetic that you can't even see?
Well, I'm not talking about F1. I'm talking about Fortnite. I said if F1 wants to do it right, they need to do it like Fortnite, and then I'm gonna go off of Fortnite for the NFT. If you can't make the game like Fortnite, why even trying an NFT, Brad?
Why even in gaming?
Skipping a step. Okay, you gotta have the battle pass right first, and assuming that the model thing is the Fortnite battle pass, then we'll go off of that, right? We already all have a list of cosmetics that we can use, some of which can never be gotten again because they were received during a season, or it was something you had to grind for,
or like the Twitch Prime, like the Twitch Prime ones.
Oh yeah, exactly. Anything like that. They obviously you start counting the numbers. How many players have that skin? How many times has it been in the shop? How much are you charging for that? And then you use some type of equation to determine the worth or value of a certain cosmetic. Then let's say you have an open marketplace where you can go on and trade your skin with other people and either A, get currency, V-Bucks, for that skin. The prices are set by Fortnite, so there's no getting around like, well, I'm going to charge $1 million for this skin, because just like in Forza Horizon 5, when you sell a car at auction, it determines the price for you. The price is not determined by you, it's determined by Fortnite. So over time, it will devalue. At some point,
though, there's got to be a conversion. At some point, there's got to be a conversion to real world currency.
Well, it's already with V-Bucks. So you either give it.
But I understand that. But let me ask you this: does Fortnite then, say we're to convert all of the skins into NFTs? do they not release any of the ones they've released before again? Because they go, okay, well, we've released it. There's this many. Say there's 15,000
you keep releasing
people who have that skin.
You keep releasing it. Doesn't that
dilute the value of the skin?
Does the value of our dollar go down when we print more? Sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. Our value of money is based on faith, it's not backed in gold. It hasn't been since the Depression. So when we're looking at something as far as Fortnite value goes, there's obviously a value to it. It's easily calculated if you are looking at the different milestones that make up a skin. If it costs 2,000 V-Bucks, that's $20. If the value of V-Bucks is still for now, but what's the difference in? I need the daily ticker for the currency exchange. What is the currency exchange? Yeah. There would be a currency exchange. Over time, the value of your skin would go down. Of course it would. It's no different in that respect. You do something like that, though, you give the power back to the players, right? And you become a GameStop of sorts, where people stop spending money in the store and start spending money in exchange currency wise, for, in this marketplace, right? So that's why I said that the NFTs are on this precipice of actually giving power back to consumers when it comes to digital rights. Right now we have none. Everything is owned by Fortnite. But if you give people, or if you connect an NFT to a digital cosmetic item, then you've created a contract where something is worth something, and you have rights to that regardless of, some type of terms of service, right? They'd have to weave it in there. Obviously there's legal barriers behind this. I'm not stupid. For all of you legalese people out there that think that, there wouldn't be some legal hurdles within this. But if we're talking about how to give value, how to bring NFTs into a video game environment, it's already there. Just give the value back to players instead of making it so they can't trade with another player, or they can't sell that back to the store for some type of currency exchange, right? You're stuck with what you got. But I guarantee you that if I went on eBay right now, and there's tons of people that do this, you can sell your Fortnite account. You can sell your Call of Duty account. So if you rank up all the way, you can sell these accounts. Obviously, it breaks the terms of service for when you're doing these types of things. But the reason is because they don't want to, They don't want to step on any toes, legally speaking. So that's why they kind of just cover their butt. It's you rent to own, but.
Oh, okay.
So Nick, what are your thoughts? I mean, Bruno and I have been jarring back and forth. We need the tiebreaker here. I'm on one side, Bruno's on the other. Where do you stand?
Good conversation. I've been enjoying it as much as the audience has. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's the $32,000 question. Okay, Regis. So, what is the correct answer? Is it A, B, C, A, or D? No. So, okay, listen. My thing is, let me give you a great example of something that I was able to do once that I can no longer do, that I think is a great example of how a free market economy in a video game, if allowed to be free market, can actually work very well.
Is it a push-up? Because I can't do one of those either, Nick.
I can't either. The Presidential Award of Fitness, or whatever it was, I got award. Yeah. I got the M&Ms. I didn't get the certificate.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't care what aisle of what aisle or what side of the aisle you sit on. But if he can't stand up on a bike, I feel really awkward that I have to complete a set number of sit-ups or do the chin hang. It was a tough program,
man. The pull-ups, there was just no chance.
I had to do the chin hang.
Yeah. At least you got your chin up there. There was no chance for me. But no. So the example that I'll give is that when Rocket League, before they removed loot boxes, and I'm glad they removed the loot boxes, don't get me wrong, but they had an open market system, okay, where anything that you open through a crate that you could then trade with anybody for anything. And there was a specific goal effect that I wanted, the one where it pops and the confetti comes out. The kids are like, yay. Yeah. So I had to have it, but it was only available for a limited time. And so I had a couple rare things that I had opened in crates. And so I looked up the value of them, and there are websites that help you say, okay, this is worth X number of, theoretical, tokens or whatever. And so is this thing. So I was able to find someone that was selling that object through that website. Then we meet up, we make the exchange, right? So there wasn't any kind of minimum set by any kind of system, because if that guy tries to charge me too much for it, well, there were 4 other people that had a listing that I could get it at a more reasonable price. And that doesn't always hold true, especially for the really rare stuff.
It's like a one-line Craigslist.
Yeah, it was. But I was able to actually meet up with somebody, trade, and I got the item that I wanted. So that's a great example. And I've said this many times. Team Fortress 2 still has the Steam inventory system of you having an actual Steam inventory in the browser, the client for Steam, and your Team Fortress 2 items are in that inventory, which can then be traded with other people for other things, and of course the rare items like hats and what have you.
Yeah.
So I think that's one example. Now, like Brad had pointed out, in order for it to truly be an NFT, it has to have that ability to exchange for real world currency. And there's so few places that do that. I know Roblox does it, but from what I've heard, it's extremely predatory and really capitalizing on a lot of people that want to try and create games in the hope of them getting noticed on the Roblox platform.
Well, and just an aside
but that's
for
a conversation for another day.
Just an aside for that, Nick, too, you're right. That is actually how a lot of black market deals have gone down in the past. The CIA and NSA actually monitor World of Warcraft servers. They did this back in the day. Because people would obviously exchange accounts and stuff that were worth something. And that was how a lot of money was being moved through the black market for something, was tied to a video game or a currency. So you're right. And it just goes back to exactly what Brad said about this being the wild west of exchange rates and not knowing what something is worth. Obviously, you're right. If anything is going to be an NFT, it has to come back and have that real world value to it. And I think that becomes something that video game companies, developers don't want you to be able to have, is the ability to refund a digital item and get your money back for something like that. So, they want to keep all the bucks in their hands and not give you, the player, the power like GameStop obviously does.
Bing bong.
There you go. Bing bong. And I'll tell you who gives you the marketing media power, Bruno. And that's, of course, Pierce Unlimited. Thanks, as always, to Pierce Unlimited for making this podcast possible. There you go. For marketing media that works and bespoke design to power your business, visit pierceunlimited.com. Stop on by. Tell them we sent you. And check out all the cool, they got podcast packages. You want to start your own podcast, marketing media services, you name it, consultations, the list goes on. Again, pierceunlimited.com. That is catchy as heck. Man, we're busting out the classic game show jingles today.
Right, I got you.
Yeah. You do got us. And I'll tell you who else has got you, and that is our website, quitthebuild.com. Make sure to stop by, check out our blogs, check out our community page. More importantly, of course, you got to go over to our merch page because there's so many amazing t-shirts, pillows, pop sockets, you name it. All sorts of fun designs, Quit the Build logos. The kids love it. There are sizes for the kids, fun colors. Stop on by again. That's quitthebuild.com. And see what fun stuff awaits you. Great place to link up with us, of course, on social media. We've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We got TikTok. And we even have that Discord. Shout out, as always, to Discord Lord Terry holding it down, posting the memes. The man's been posting trucker hats because the guy's been playing American Truck Simulator.
With the wheel.
I am way too invested.
With the wheel. I love it. He was in Portland the other day. It actually looked like Portland.
He was.
I was like, hey, I live up there. That's the road I take to go home. Terry, where are you? Beep the horn. Honk it on the way through. But he didn't have listen, this is what I was expecting. And then this is what I got.
Yeah.
he's got to upgrade that horn, but apparently that's part of the DLC nature of Trucking Simulator. If you want the,
Yes,
you got to upgrade from them.
you gotta pay. You are not far off. That's reasonably priced, but it's definitely there. Oh boy.
Gotta strap on that Vuvuzela on the side, right?
Oh man, could you imagine driving with that thing? Oh, Bruno would get his CDL pulled immediately. He would just lose it.
Yes.
Sir,
Excessive honking.
excessive honking. says right on the bumper sticker, honk.
There you go.